Hey YouTube, Tara here, and it's been a while since I've done a video, so I figured I'd do one. It's kind of a few things I want to talk about. Hopefully I can not be so scatterbrained while I'm talking about them. First thing I wanted to talk about was, went to work the other day wearing a flannel shirt. Right, how much more lesbian can you get? Well, apparently the guy at work that has a crush on me just can't seem to get it through his skull that I'm not into him. You know, I understand maybe he doesn't understand that I'm a lesbian. That's fine. But I don't understand what would make him think it was okay to make this comment that he made. He was just staring at me all day, like really creepily, like just like he always creeps me out, but this time it was a little. I was trying to I always try to avoid where I know he'll be, but it was even worse when I was wearing that shirt. Finally, at the end of the day, I was walking in my car and he's like, "Oh, you look really nice today." I was like, "Oh, thanks." It's always nice to get a compliment. But then he's like, "Yeah, you look like a farm girl. Now you know what my fetish is." What? Like, what would make a person think that's okay to say? Like, I don't get it. It freaking grossed me out, and I just kind of went, okay, and just kept walking to my car. Ugh. Fucking nasty. I just don't understand people. And then as I was driving home today, I saw a picketer on the side of the road that had a Bible in one hand and a sign in the other. I didn't even read the sign. I was just driving past and I just saw the Bible and a big wooden cross. And he had a Jewish flag. I really hope he was one of us saying hey, religion causes war, all religion sucks. But I have a feeling he wasn't. So, right at the same time, on NPR, they had a guy from, I can't remember if it was from Gaza or Syria or Iraq, but there was a guy from the Middle East where his area was told to evacuate, and he says no, Allah will, protect me, or basically said oh, if God, the way I understood it was, if God wants me to be safe, then he'll keep me safe. And it's really annoying, because even when I believed, I wasn't stupid enough to think oh, I have cancer, I'm just gonna pray it away. My sister tried to say that with her bipolar. She doesn't need medication or doctors, she just needs church. Even I believed in God, but I never believed that people who believed in something different would go to hell. I never believed that. I believed that we were all praying to the same thing. It's just he was in different forms. And he wouldn't punish anybody for not getting it right. Now I realize that they're all worshiping the same thing and it's an invisible man. But, I'm not saying it's not possible that there's something out there. What I originally thought, maybe just something that isn't any particular religion, because I don't think any of them have gotten it right, if there is anything. but I just don't see any proof, and I don't see how people can be so freaking certain that their faith is correct, that they are willing to kill each other over it. And it's not just Muslims, it's also Christians. Christians get crazy about their beliefs too. Even if they don't actively kill people, the fact that they would wish anybody to hell, knowing full well what they think that means, I think that's worse than killing people, to be honest, because well, no, okay. Because when you're killing somebody, you're actually taking a life away. But when you're wishing somebody to go to hell, it's more of a philosophical thing, because there is no hell. But, like, if somebody actually believes in it, how terrible of a person would you have to be to actually wish that on somebody? Like, when I actually believed in God and stuff, and believed that people might go to hell, I kind of just thought it was like, I kind of just imagined it to be a prison sentence. Somebody does their time, and then they get to go to heaven. But honestly, the thought of heaven has always scared me. Even as a child, like, I used to have to actively think about something else, because I would just lay in bed and think about eternity. Forever and ever and ever. 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years. I remember thinking to myself, there's cavemen in heaven, like, you know, whatever. I didn't believe in Adam and Eve. Like, I thought it was a nice story, but I didn't take it literally. But I thought, like, there are people who have been in heaven for hundreds of thousands of years. That sounds terrible. Like, I don't care where you are. I don't care if it's paradise. I don't care if it's some, like, magical, wonderful place where all your family and friends are and there's something to do every day. It just sounds terrifying. And that they would be there for another 100,000 years, and then 1,000,000 years, and 1,000,000,000,000 years. We can't even fathom what that is. And so, like, as a child, I would just be freaked out. I remember thinking, like, I hope there is nothing when we die, because that just sounds terrible. And then, especially when I started, like, kind of understanding what heaven was in the Bible, how it's just praising God, that sounded even worse. Like, that sounds like hell. Like, it's nice to think that your friends and family are gonna be there, but fuck, man, for eternity, just, oh my god. It just drives me nuts how much control it had over me for so long. How terrified I was. Because for me, it was like an OCD thing. I really thought that the world would end if I did something bad, if I didn't pray every night. I thought the people I was praying for were gonna die. Like, it was obviously an OCD thing for me. It was obviously a form of mental illness. And I think for a lot of people it might be like a slight form, you know? And like, there's one chick on YouTube that I'm actually kind of like concerned about, like Love Revelations or something. I can't remember what her name is, but she keeps posting all these videos about the end of the world and how she can't wait for it and how she wants to die, and it makes me really sad. Like, I feel really bad for her. And I wish I could help her, and I've kind of reached out to her, but, you know, she said I was possessed by demons. There's obviously no talking to people like that. I can just hope that eventually she'll understand, like, it's okay to believe in certain things, but we gotta live here and now and love our life. And it's hard for me sometimes, but it's so sad to see somebody so young just waiting, wishing for death, you know? My time's running out, and this was kind of boring, so if you actually watched this, thank you. Check out my links, so love you. Bye.